This episode of Parks in the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches and by the award-winning Palm Beach County Parks and Recreation Department. On this episode of Parks in the Palm Beaches, we're at Okehili Nature Center. I'm here with Elise, and it's about to get wild. We'll learn the sport of archery and meet some unusual residents that call this nature center home. So, grab your bow and arrows, pack your sense of wonder, and join us as nature calls in the parks of the Palm Beaches. Archery is a sport that involves using a bow to shoot arrows at a target. It has a long history and has been used for hunting and warfare in various cultures throughout the ages. In modern times, archery is primarily practiced as a recreational activity and competitive sport. In archery, the goal is to accurately hit a target, which can be a round target with concentric rings of different colors or other objects. Archers aim to score points by hitting specific areas on the target, with higher scores awarded for arrows that land closer to the center. Many people practice archery for fun, relaxation, and as a way to improve their focus and concentration. Archery requires skill, concentration, and control to consistently hit the target. It's a popular and diverse sport enjoyed by people of all ages and skill levels around the world and right here in the parks of the Palm Beaches. On this episode of Parks in the Palm Beaches, we're at Okehili Nature Center, and I'm with Elise, and she's going to be teaching me about advanced archery. Can you tell me just a little bit more about this?
Absolutely. So today we just finished up one of our rounds of advanced archery here at the Okehili Nature Center. We typically have at least one beginner and one advanced archery every month. So for you, we're going to do a bit of an intro course here.
Yes, please.
Walking through how to shoot our bows, and we're going to try to hit that target a few times.
I'm absolutely going to try. In a world of ancient grace, where time slows its hurried pace, a bow in hand, an archer's stance, we enter a timeless, rhythmic dance. With arrows poised and focus keen, we draw the string, a sight unseen. The target's heart, a distant mark. In the realm of archery, we embark. So, draw your bow, release your fear. Let every arrow be a tear of joy, of hope, of life's great quest. In archery's embrace, we find our best.
All right, so the very first step of shooting is our stance. So what I'm gonna have you do is stand behind the quiver. You're gonna have one foot on either side of this line. And we wanna think about having our toes a bit on a 30-degree angle facing towards the target. For the most part, our body position, we still want it facing that way. You're a righty, so we're gonna be facing to the right.
Sounds good.
All right, that's our first step, is the stance. Next step, we're going to knock our arrows. So when we knock our arrows, you want to go ahead and bring that arrow up and around, and you're going to have the index fletching, which is going to be the fletching that's a different color facing towards you. So that white part,
Oh, okay.
Exactly. This piece here is going to be our knock. We're going to knock it right below there.
Okay, got it.
Awesome. All right, that looks good. So now the next one is going to be our position while we're holding the bow. So we call that hook and grip. Want to take 3 fingers. Those are going to go right below this point here. And then on this one, for your grip, you actually want to have a relatively loose grip. You can almost think about balancing an egg. So we don't want to have a too tight of a grip on our bow there.
Understood.
So, awesome. All right, 3 fingers. Right below that point?
Right below.
Awesome. All right, next step, we're gonna go ahead and raise your bow. And we'll have you shooting on this target right in front of the tree.
This one.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right, you raise your bow. Next step is gonna be drawing back. So thinking about bringing that elbow back towards me. And we want this hand, thinking about anchoring that at the corner of our mouth. Index finger towards the corner of mouth.
Okay.
Beautiful. Elbow up just a little bit towards me, and go ahead and release.
Okay. Thank you.
Looks good.
Appreciate it. You're a great coach.
So that first step, we've got our stance. You just knocked your arrow, think about our grip, pulling back. And we want that index finger a little bit closer to the corner of the mouth. Yep, that's gonna be your anchor. All right.
I feel it now. This is great. I loosened the grip here too.
And
I felt the difference.
Felt
Yes.
the difference?
Yes, I feel the difference.
So exactly what I was talking about. When we really break down each step, that hook and grip, we really have that tendency to hold on tight.
Right,
so
right.
loosening it actually makes it easier to shoot.
This reminds me of golf quite a bit because with golf there's a lot of mental steps, and one off step can send your shot right or left rather than straight down the fairway. So this is something where it's very much mental.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's where it's helpful in these classes. We're constantly walking around. You'll see I'm moving and watching you from different positions, those different coaching positions, because you can see something completely different when someone's shooting straight on versus behind. You can really look for different things. So on this next shot, I'm gonna look a little bit more closely at your elbow position.
Well, you're a great coach so far because you got me from missing like far off the target, and now I'm actually hitting the target.
I'm glad to
hit it
hear
3
it.
times in a row. I feel pretty good.
It's looking good.
Let's see, let's get that there.
Perfect.
I can hit the target. Feel a lot better about myself.
And how's it feeling? More comfortable too?
Much more comfortable.
Okay.
Much more comfortable.
And that's the biggest thing that I always like to stress with everybody. When your shot feels comfortable, your shot's probably gonna be looking pretty good.
Right. And this is also, to me, this is educational in that it kind of gives me geometry vibes a bit. Because I mean, you gotta have the right angle for your elbow and the right placement. And so this is quite educational on many levels. Okay. I keep wanting to bring it up.
That's all right. And then right here, I want you to pause for a second.
Yes.
And we're going from here to here, bringing those shoulder blades back.
There's another step.
Transfer to hold. Let's watch on this one. Awesome.
Is that better?
Still, yep, and still thinking about anchoring at the corner of the mouth.
Right.
Yep,
yeah.
Perfect, perfect.
And I'm almost in the middle. Look at that.
That's another thing that I love about archery is you can make so much progress in just an hour of shooting. You get people who've come in who've never even held a bow before, and by the end, they're hitting the target. It's pretty awesome.
I thought it was pretty hopeless after the first couple of shots, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to take down any trees out here. Let's see.
Bringing that hand up, corner
Oh,
of the
yeah,
mouth.
yes,
Yeah,
that step too.
That anchor. Everything looks good.
I'm so close to the bullseye. I'm getting so close. So Elise, my first time doing archery, what do you think?
I'm pretty impressed. I mean, we look at this, first off, you're hitting the target the majority of the time. That's more than we can ask for on your very first time with
Yeah, we'll ignore those arrows back there.
No one needs to know about those ones. No, you did an excellent job, and what I love seeing the most is how you really progressed pretty linearly. We went further and further in, closer to that in the center of the target, pretty much with every shot.
Yeah, the steps that I was missing at first was the transference of the weight to my back and the loose grip on the actual bow. But once I got that down, I felt like I can get closer and closer, and it felt easier to aim. So I really appreciate your coaching. It was excellent.
I'm glad to hear it. Again, and the more that you go through, again, even in that first hour and a half of our beginner's archery, we see so much progress. And then we have folks like today come out for advanced archery. And that's where you were noticing that we were given a lot more of those fine tuning, looking at the head position, thinking about what eye we're maybe closing when we're shooting.
Right.
All those little fine details.
Well, I really enjoyed my class today, Elise. Can you tell me more about how others can get involved here at Okehili Nature Center?
Absolutely. So I definitely recommend going online. You can register. And with that, not only does Okehili Nature Center have archery classes, but you can also find archery classes at our other nature centers. So if you're located closer to Green Cay, or maybe you're near Riverbend, definitely recommend taking a look at those different classes. Here at Okehili, we offer the beginners and the advanced archery. And again, we try to hold each of those at least once a month.
It sounds like the parks and the Palm Beaches have plenty for residents and visitors alike to do. You should come and check it out.
It's all good. Try it. You'll like it.
It's great. It's great. The girls are great, very patient, very positive.
You feel like you're in a fairy tale, like Robin Hood. That's what I like about it.
Coming up next, learn why alligators rule the waters of the Palm Beaches. This episode of Parks in the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches and by the award-winning Palm Beach County Parks and Recreation Department. In the murky waters of the swamp so still, lurks a creature with a primal, ancient thrill. With eyes that gleam like polished emerald stones, in the realm of the alligator, nature's secrets are sown. Its armor of scales, a prehistoric design, a living relic from a distant time. Jaws that snap with lightning speed and might, a master of survival, a fearsome sight. With a primal beauty, it moves with grace. Through the watery realm, it finds its place. In the heart of the Everglades or the marshy reaches, the alligator thrives right here in the Palm Beaches. Florida is known for its alligator population, and these reptiles can be found throughout the state, inhabiting various freshwater environments such as swamps, lakes, rivers, and marshes. Alligators are found in almost every part of Florida, from the Panhandle in the northwest to the southern tip of the state. They can also be found in both urban and rural areas right here in the Palm Beaches. Alligators can grow to impressive sizes. Adult males can reach lengths of 13 to 15 feet, while females are generally smaller with lengths of 8 to 10 feet. Alligators prefer freshwater environments such as swamps, marshes, lakes, rivers, and canals. They are also known to inhabit brackish water and can be occasionally found in coastal areas. Alligators are carnivorous and primarily feed on fish, birds, turtles, snakes, and mammals. They are opportunistic predators and will eat whatever is available. These reptiles are known for their patience and stealth when hunting. They often lie in wait for their prey to approach and strike with great speed. American alligators were once listed as an endangered species due to overhunting, but they have since made a significant recovery and their populations have rebounded. It's important to remember that alligators are wild animals and should be observed from a safe distance. If you encounter an alligator in the wild, it's best to give them plenty of space and not provoke them in any way. I've had a ton of fun doing archery today. Let's go over to the Nature Center and check out the raptors, the snakes, the alligators, and all those little creepy crawly creatures. So we're here once again with Elise. Elise taught me amazing skills with archery, but now she's showing me that she's well versed with everything nature. She's holding a baby alligator, and apparently there's a story behind the naming of this alligator. Bob, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, so we do have two alligators here at the Nature Center, Bob and Charlotte. Both are named by Henry Winkler, who is a family friend of our manager here at the Okeechobee Nature Center. So Bob is just around 2 years old at this point and just about 2 feet long. If you like, you can do a 2-finger touch.
Absolutely. Wow, I noticed that the scales are a lot softer than I thought they'd be.
Yeah, often the texture really surprises people, both with our snakes and our alligators. That's something we get a lot when people touch them for the first time. Especially with the snakes, they expect them to feel slimy, but in fact, they're very smooth, often cold to the touch.
Wow, Bob is pretty cool, and he's really cool, calm, and collective. I'm really appreciating that he's allowing me to pet him.
Absolutely. So at this age, what's really cool is we can still see these stripes. When you see adult alligators here in Florida, you're not going to see that coloration. That's unique to the juveniles. That's going to help them to camouflage. Now earlier you heard a little bit of him making the sounds. It almost sounds a bit like a laser gun when they're at that age.
Right.
And that's how they'll communicate to each other and especially to their mothers. Gator moms are some of the best moms out there, we say, in the reptile world. And that's because the young will actually stay with their mothers for up to the first 2 years of their lives.
Wow.
So if you ever see baby alligators in the wild, keep an eye out. Mom's probably not too far away.
I can assume, and I know my mom kept a close eye on me growing up.
Absolutely. So these guys, we are so lucky to have them here in Florida. And even at this size, they still have well over 60 teeth in their mouth.
Wow.
By the time that these American alligators are adults, we're looking closer to about 80 teeth in their mouth at any given time.
Wow, that's a lot of teeth, and I definitely would not want to be in the way of any of those teeth.
Fair enough. Anytime that you're here in Florida, we always just like people to know, if you see a body of water, safe to assume there could be an alligator in it. Now that's not to cause anyone to be scared or fearful. In fact, we are very lucky to have these animals. They're what we call a keystone species. which when you look at an archway, that middle stone in the center of the arch, that's the keystone. You take that away, the whole archway collapses.
Wow.
So alligators are considered a keystone species here in Florida. They create so many other important habitats for our multitude of species, including when they use their tails back and forth to make what we call gator holes. It's this area where then, once that tide starts drying up or the weather changes, we get a little less water in, then other animals can make their homes there.
So if I'm understanding the concept of the keystone species correctly, if creatures like Bob are gone, then the entire environment collapses.
Exactly.
Wow.
Another great example here in Florida is with our gopher tortoises. You may have seen them walking around.
Yes, I have actually.
Yes. So gopher tortoises are another great example of keystone species, and that's because their burrows that they create actually are considered to house up to 300 different species.
Wow.
So we're talking rabbits, snakes, all sorts of animals will actually then use those burrows to take a little bit of shelter.
One thing I'm grateful for is seeing such a wide range of different species right here in the Palm Beaches. Thank you for introducing me to Bob, and I'm grateful for this experience. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Beautiful. Coming up next, we'll discover the Okehele Nature Center and a slithery resident. This episode of Parks in the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches and by the award-winning Palm Beach County Parks and Recreation Department. Okehele Nature Center is a popular nature center located in Okehele Park, which is situated right here in Palm Beach County, Florida. The center is dedicated to promoting environmental education and providing visitors with opportunities to learn about and appreciate the natural world. Okehele Nature Center offers a variety of educational programs and exhibits to teach visitors about the local ecosystems, wildlife, and natural history of the region. The Nature Center is surrounded by beautiful natural areas, including wetlands and forested regions. There are well-maintained trails for hiking, bird watching, and enjoying the outdoors. Inside the Nature Center building, there are informative exhibits and displays that showcase the local environment, wildlife, and ecosystems. These exhibits are designed to be educational and engaging. The Nature Center hosts special events, workshops, and presentations related to environmental conservation and local wildlife. These events are open to the public and offer unique opportunities to learn more about the environment. The center plays a vital role in promoting environmental awareness and conservation in the Palm Beaches. It's a place where residents and visitors can immerse themselves in the beauty of nature and gain a greater understanding of the local ecosystem.
All right, so here we've got Needles, our pine snake. How you feeling about snakes?
I feel okay.
Yeah?
Snakes are not necessarily my strongest animal connection. However, I do like Needles. I think she's beautiful.
So she is a protected species. Very important. Again, earlier we were talking about keystone species. Pine snakes, local here to Florida, one of our native snake species. If you like, you can do a gentle two-finger touch.
It will be very gentle. Oh wow, this is really soft.
Now you pet the gator earlier. How are we feeling comparing?
I like Bob a little better.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Here at the Okehele Nature Center, we do have a wide variety of snakes. Needles here is one of our Florida pine snakes, and as their name suggests, you can find them in the pine flatwoods environment. And so what's pretty unique about this snake is that they're able to create that hissing sound, and this could be used to potentially help deter predators, and they're also able to even puff up their cheeks a little bit to take on the look of a more venomous snake. They are not themselves venomous.
Coming up next, we'll meet a bird that is an ambassador of the parks in the Palm Beaches. This episode of Parks in the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches and by the award-winning Palm Beach County Parks and Recreation Department. All right, Elise, who do we have here?
All right, so this is Abel. He is a red-shouldered hawk. They get that name because when they stretch out their wings a little bit, you can see a bit of a brick, almost rust coloration on their shoulders. Now, we do have red-shouldered hawks here in Florida. Abel actually came to us from Alabama. And For that reason, when you see a red shoulder hawk in Florida, sometimes you'll see they have a bit of a lighter coloration. We almost like to think of them as being out in the sun, getting that lighter coloration. And right now, he's hearing everything going on around us. Hawks have incredible vision, and their hearing's definitely not too bad either. Now, I'm gonna turn him just a little bit so you all can see. The reason that Abel is with us is because he only has one eye. And so that's why he is here with us at the Oki'ili Nature Center. They're incredible birds, and you can see I've got on this glove here because they do have extremely sharp talons, and they are incredible hunters.
Once again, Elise, thank you for introducing us to Abel, introducing us to the world of raptors, birds of prey, and this is honestly a privilege of mine.